If you are looking for a commercial lawnmower that will leave a beautiful cut, then you will want to take a close look at the deck, because that is where it all starts. Not all lawnmower decks are created equal, and with the wide variety of commercial mowers on the market, it is easy to get confused about what to look for when buying your next mower. Most of today's commercial riding mowers can get the job done quickly without much concern for cut quality. But if you're looking for a nicely manicured lawn, then you will want to look at something different: the innovative, proven Walker mower with decks that are specifically designed to deliver premium results in a variety of terrain and conditions. Walker decks are different, but they're different for the right reasons. From one of the earliest prototypes, Walker's deck design was different because it featured a true floating deck and not just a deck hanging in a fixed position. There are two characteristics that make a deck a true floating deck: decreased weight on the deck wheels and a flexible carrier frame. When combined, these two attributes mean that a deck can float front to back and side to side on uneven turf. What does that look like? Take a look at this comparison of how different decks work. The Walker deck flexes both front and back and to the sides, so the deck stays with the ground contour and leaves a nice cut. Because of the rigid mounting of this deck, you can see that one of the deck tires comes off the ground at the top of the hill, and as it approaches the bottom of the hill, the other tire and the side of the deck raise up. This deck does not follow ground contour. Another rigid mount deck performs the same way, and popular stand-on designs make it virtually impossible to safely follow a diagonal path over a hill. However, Walker decks precisely follow ground contour. So what makes Walker decks different? First, the weight of the deck wheels puts minimal surface pressure on the turf. This allows the deck to float, and it also means the grass is not run over with as much weight before it's cut. These weight comparisons show the difference. The surface pressure weight on Walker decks is anywhere from 7 to 16% of the overall weight of the tractor versus competitive machines that carry between 17 and 24% of the overall tractor weight on the deck tires. Walker's deck counterweight springs are the key to transferring the weight from the deck to the drive wheels. The counterweight springs make the tractor steering more responsive because there is less resistance at the front of the machine, but that's a whole nother story. The next element to consider is lateral flex. Take another look at the video on the hill. What is happening that allows the deck to stay so close to the ground? The deck is actually flexing side to side. If a deck does not flex, it won't be able to follow ground contour. Take a look at how popular decks stack up to the flex of Walker decks in a test to see how high one deck tire can go before the other deck tire comes off the ground. None of the competitive decks made it over 1 inch off the ground on the left deck tire before the right tire came off the ground. While Walker decks based on various sizes went from 5 inches all the way up to 11 inches on one side before the other tire lifted off the ground. So what does deck flex look like on the turf, where it really matters? See how Walker decks move with the contour of the terrain? The deck and tractor articulate to move with the terrain. Also, look at how the deck housing floats to follow the ground as the carrier frame flexes. Here's a simple test for any mower you buy. See if you can easily lift one of the deck arms off the ground. If you can't lift it, think about how that applies to the deck's performance on the turf. Deck weight and lateral flex are just two elements that make the Walker deck different from others. There are other distinct characteristics that give Walker decks an out-front advantage over the competition. By design, Walker decks have an out-front reach advantage of 15 to 35% over the competition. This means less trimming and more productivity. The out front design, along with the low seat position, helps operators see exactly what is being mowed. Before you buy a mower, make sure you know how you are going to get the blades off for sharpening and safely access the deck housing for cleaning. Walker's tilt-up decks make it easy and safe. Operators continue to get hurt while working under mower decks that do not have easy, safe access. Another out-front advantage of the Walker design is that decks can be easily interchanged for other Walker decks or a variety of implements that can keep your Walker busy all year long. Don't confuse the gentle footprint of the Walker deck on the turf for a deck that is not durable. As with aircraft construction, the Walker deck was designed favoring structural integrity over increasing material thickness. As you have seen, this means increased performance and beautiful results. So, as you look for a new mower, remember, if you are interested in a beautiful finished cut, start by taking a different look at the mower deck. Walker decks are different in design, performance, and functionality, and an improvement in these areas means you have invested in improved overall job time, and that saves time and money.